Hello lovelies, it's me, the Melanated Oracle, and welcome back to my channel. So today I actually have a pick a card reading for the Scorpio new moon that's happening on November 15th. So to just kind of go over what the Scorpio new moon entails, when I think about the Scorpio sign, I really think of transformation, especially since it is ruled by Pluto. I think of bravery, for going into, the most inner corner, the most inner of our psyches, the things that most people tend to want to ignore or be uncomfortable with. Scorpios have no problems with addressing those things. And then also really like the depths of the ocean, since Scorpio is a very emotional sign, as it is a water sign, and just thinking of things of that nature, and just with, of course, uncovering different kind of things. But I really think the Scorpio new moon is really going to be about everything that's been in the dark coming to the light. Say for instance, if there's any secrets, or maybe if there's anything that you've been ignoring, it's going to come into the light. You're not going to be able to hide it anymore, especially with it being a new moon. With the new moon being all about new beginnings and setting your intentions and manifesting, this will be the time to look at insecurities, look at secrets, and really transform. Why are you keeping these things hidden? This is the time to be truthful. If you have an insecurity about something, what do you want to change, and how do you want to change it? How do you want to be moving forward? How do you want your life to look moving forward, and things of that nature? So this is really the time of truth, I feel like, not only with ourselves but in our partnerships and relationships as well, and friendships. It's going to be the time to get really everything out in the open. So with that being said, let's just jump into the readings. I have 3 piles: pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and of course I'll leave a little meditation, but let's just go ahead and get started. If you chose pile 1, this is the reading for you, and you chose, I believe this is mahogany obsidian, so I can't remember exactly what it is, but just by looking at it, what is standing out to me is how it's very splotchy. It's a darkish reddish brown as well as black. See, darkish reddish brown and black spots. It's very smooth, and there's not a typical shape. I can't say that it's triangular or it's circular. I forgot what that shape is called. But what I'm really getting, for some of you with this specifically, I heard mother, I heard home. So some of you may be wanting to take a look at your home life, seeing if there's anything that needs to be changed. Or maybe you're going to be uncovering some truths about people in your home or in your home life. Maybe some things need to be redecorated, or just some movement of the furniture to get some movement of the energy. But let's just go ahead and jump into the tarot. So we have Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Strength upright, Death in reverse, 2 of Vials in reverse, okay, and the Magician. So right off the bat, what is standing out to me is how we have the Wheel of Fortune and Death and the 2 of Vials in reverse. Really, I feel like that some of you may have felt or are feeling that your relationships and yourself are kind of at a standstill, maybe a little bit stuck, and like there's no movement, especially with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and Death in reverse. Kind of these feelings of like nothing is progressing, nothing is moving forward. And I feel like the Strength card, I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. I feel like some of you would gain more from incorporating more compassion into your lives, especially if someone is difficult in your life right now, or they are coming off difficult to you or aggressive. You want to really be more nurturing and compassionate towards that person, especially with the Strength card. And you have this person really cradling this angry bear. You're the person that needs to be cradling the angry bear. You know, there's a lot going on in life right now with the Scorpio new moon, just where we are in general. Regardless of where you're staying, there's just a lot in life going on. You also have this Two of Vials in reverse. So partnerships, relationships, and friendships may have been a bit rough with everything going on. It may be taking a toll. But it's really up to you to not take it to heart. It's up to you to more so be the bigger person and look at everything, realizing that times can be rough for people, kind of being the person who is helping those who needs help, being compassionate, being nurturing. You have a Magician. So for some of you, if life has been rough, you have the ability to quickly turn it around with your own power, with your ability to manifest. And for others of you, since you know you have this ability, life hasn't been as rough for you as it have been for maybe other people in your lives. And that's when you really do need to take that nurturing compassion, because some people may be experiencing things that you're yourself not going through. And if that's the case, then, you know, really try your best to be lenient with people, be nurturing. Like I said before, you know, don't let people, of course, disrespect you or come at you sideways, but do realize that with where we are in the world, because, you know, this is Scorpio new moon is tying into this, especially with these truths and everything. Oof, I just heard for some of you, people may have feel a little bit of jealousy because your life is so good right now, because you haven't, again for some, because you haven't really had, you haven't really been impacted by what's going on, especially for those of you who do know your inner power, especially, you know, for those of you who do know your inner power, you know, you, even with everything going on, you may still be very calm and very collected, because you know that you're always taken care of, and you know how to take care of yourself. You know how to get through everything. You know how to move through everything. And this may have been rubbing some people the wrong way, or more so have them questioning how you're doing it. I feel like some people in this group, you may benefit from explaining how you're at the point that you are now to some people that may be struggling, especially if they come to you around this new moon cycle and they tell you that, you know, it's been hard because they see you in the position that you're in, and then they see themselves in the position that they're in, and it kind of just makes them clam up a little bit. It makes them question things like, how are you doing this? That's why I feel like people are saying, how are you doing this? It may benefit you for you to actually tell them how you're doing it. If you do scripting, visualization, things of that nature, or if you pray like crazy, I pray like crazy all the time. Tell them to, you know, just tell them that to not feel so powerless, to not feel so overwhelmed, and regardless, we always have some control. I feel like this group, the new moon, you're going to be helping people out a lot. There's going to be people coming to you for your ability to remain calm. We have meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. You're not a rash person, at least in this new moon cycle. You're not going to be rash. You're going to be very rational, I want to say. You're going to be thinking in things in a calm manner. You're going to be able to look at a lot of different things and different perspectives. You're not going to be taking a lot of things personally, and I think that's what's the best about it. So I like this. So we have Taurus, the connoisseur, as well as 8th house transformation. So I feel like even if things have been feeling stuck lately, this new moon and everything you're learning with it, because I feel like this is a time that a lot of you are going to be taking a step back and like, oh crap, yeah, my life has been great. Everybody else, not so much. I should probably, you know, be thinking about certain things. But I feel like, oh yeah, especially with this Taurus card, you have been comfortable. You have been having luxury. Things in your life have been pretty good, at least for a good majority of you. And if it hasn't, then you can know that it's coming. Know that the luxury, the reliability, the stability, and things of that nature, the comfort, it's coming, it's on the way. For those of you who are in a rough spot, you need to realize what you can do. You need to realize that you can move forward, especially with how the flame just went. That's something to keep in handy for those who maybe have not been having the best of time, but for those who have, you've been in a pretty good spot. and that may have played a role in how people were acting towards you if they have not. But by all this things coming out in the open and people just getting real, there's going to be transformation in your relationships. There's going to finally be progress moving forward, and that is the good news, because I know that can really take a toll, and it can also kind of be hard on both parties, because it can also sometimes be hard on you, because you may not want to share about your life because life is going good. But that's the thing, everybody is always going to be in a different spot in life, and you should not feel guilty about where you are and if life is going to good. If life is going good, geez, it took me so long to get that out. So we have ancient wisdom, creativity, and omens. This is the thing, like I said earlier, a lot of you already know what you can do. A lot of you already know about whatever you want to call it, manifestation, law of attraction. You guys know the gist of it. You guys know how to work with it. You guys know how to get creative with it when things may not be going your way, when things are hot. You know how to get a little creative. If money is getting a little tight, you know you can do other things to let the money come back in. If relationships are getting hard, now you know, if you didn't know, to just be a bit more compassionate, be a bit more nurturing, be a bit more, for some of you, I even heard motherly, in a way of just tending to people's wounds, whether that be wounds to the ego for some, or actual wounds with just everything going on in life. Because that wisdom is something that was passed to you. This wisdom is old. This isn't something new. This is something that's always been here. And I feel like for you, some of you learned that more so from your ancestors and maybe from your family, of just knowing that you can make life go a certain way if you really put your mind to it. And you may have found ways to do this that weren't in the typical way, and that may be some of the knowledge that you may be sharing with those in your life, honestly, because we all know the typical things. We all know the scripting, the visualization, and things like that. But the truth be told, those things don't always work. They can work, but do they work every single time? I mean, for me, no. I've had to learn different ways of making my own thing work. But again, you may know things that most people don't, and those in that way, or the ways that you have learned, you may want to share those. You may want to share those ways with people in your personal life who have really been going through it. We have omens. Oh, I just heard the most random thing. I feel like for some of you, certain omens are tied to your stocks, which I know sounds so random, but I feel like with this group, again, especially since I'm seeing this luxury and then just stability, you're in a pretty well off spot because you know how to read omens. And if you don't know, this is something that you're going to be learning. Ancient wisdom, you're going to be learning about the omens. You're going to be learning how, that's so random, I just heard some of you are going to be learning how to read the clouds, being able to tune in with nature for different omens of things that you should either do or things you should hold off on. And I'm not talking about astrology. They want me to make that clear. This isn't astrology. This is, reading the crunch of the leaves. This is looking at how the snow is falling, how the clouds are shaped. Oh God, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm getting chills. This is ancient. This is things that we don't really pay attention to in modern times. We really pay attention to certain things like astrology more so than just how is the wind moving? Is the wind howling? Is it calm? How are the leaves falling? How is the snow falling? How are the clouds shaped? How does the air feel? Is the air humid? Is it damp? Is it moist? Is it crisp? Is it dry? Is it rough? Oh my God. Oh, y'all didn't have it planned. Spend some time with your ancestors this new moon because they clearly have something they want to say. Whew. I'm sorry, that just got, Continuing. So last but not least, I did want to pull a couple of cards for rituals that you could do this new moon. The first one is sound healing. just taking the time to maybe bask in some sound and meditation, especially if you want to talk to your ancestors about this ancient wisdom, these omens, that would be awesome. And then we have creativity, which I think is nice. We have create art, and then we have creativity. That's another thing. So for those of you who are trying to bring in even more into your life, you may want to infuse that with art. Maybe you want to create a vision board, or maybe you even want to draw or paint what you want to bring in. I feel like that can give you an extra oomph if things haven't been coming to you in the way that you normally have been using. That will be a good plan. With that being said, this is everything I picked up for pile number 1. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed new moon. So for those of you that chose pile number 2, I believe this is the new jade. I can already feel a lot of emotional healing, and I believe that's what this may be tied to, because I'm feeling how smooth. That's the thing, this is a palm stone and it's so ridiculously smooth. I feel like you're going to be I just saw an image of someone literally applying like some type of medicinal salve to their wounds, tending to their wounds, whether this be on the outside or on the inside. I feel like it may be both for some. Really focusing on what needs to be released, focusing on how to bandage what has been ignored for far too long. Okay, start with the tarot. Have the numinous, dreamer of bells, dreamer of candles, and the founder. This is the thing. Don't be too rash with the decisions you decide to make going forward. I just heard with relationships with people, we have 2 dreamers, which are the pages. So make sure you are planning things out thoroughly. Make sure you are, I don't want to word this, make sure you are, Spirit, help me out a little bit. When you make a decision, they just said make sure you are making sound decisions, that when you, they just said say it out loud and see, does this actually make sense to you? If you decide to do this, literally say it out loud. If somebody told you this, would you think it's crazy or not? Because this thing, you have the numinous, which isn't even a part of the traditional tarot. This is specifically to this deck. I feel like with where the healing is taking some of you, may not be in a traditional sense. It may be more so in a mystical sense. I would say more so of shaman healing, but I feel like when I say that, that's tied to a specific type of healing, so that's not a term I want to use, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I guess the best word would be metaphysical in a sense. It may be with Reiki, it may be with, for some, I just heard astral projection, which may sound crazy, but that's the thing. When they said, does this sound crazy to you? It's not, does it sound crazy? Does it sound crazy to you? If it doesn't sound crazy to you, then it's something you may want to, I always say, research first before you try to just jump into something. I feel like with this group, your guides, their guides are really coming through. They really want you to focus on your healing so you can find some stability in your life, so you can find some grounding. I feel like, oh babies. Some of you have been having a lot of mental breakdowns. Your mental health has been taking a toll because of trauma, because of the current events and everything going on in our world. I feel like And this is what's also standing out to me, because I just picked it up. I just noticed it. In these cards, except for one, everybody is alone except for the numinous. Then they're all the way up in the mountains. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of alone time that needs to happen. And it's going to be a lot of journaling that needs to happen. Just a lot about really, how are you feeling? Write it down, say it out. You need to scream and shout. I just feel like there's so much angst, anxiety, pain, like deep hurt, like not those somebody does something a little annoying or you're a bit irritated, but like I feel like this group may also be empaths. You pick up on a lot, so seeing everything that's happening in our crazy world probably isn't helping either. I feel like this is going to be a time of retreat for a lot of you. Yeah, supermoon emotions are running high, as well as surrender to the divine. Full moon, two opposites. How can you bring in balance? How can you surrender? How can you acknowledge your emotions? Because if you just bury them deep, they're not going to do anything but fester and grow. But if you can acknowledge them, accept them, and just let them be, if you can just feel them, eventually they'll burn out. How do you acknowledge what pains you the most? Do you need to talk to someone? Do you need to talk to the person that's causing the pain? Maybe with a family member or friend? Do you just need to talk it out? Do you need to journal it out? Do you need to dance it out? For some of you, I just heard, do you need to dance it out? How do you release? How do you release? Yeah, fourth house, home. It may be tied to your home life. What do you need to release? Are there practices in your home that are not working? Are there people in your home that don't need to be in your home that you can kick out? Oh. Not even trying to be harsh, but because we have Libra, the mediator, or what stands out to me is that it says people pleaser. You can't please everyone, you can't satisfy everyone, you can't make everyone happy, especially if it's detrimental to your own mental health and your own happiness. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it at all. Yeah, ninth house, learning. What's standing out to me is that in the book it's a map of the earth. I feel like this group is really learning a lot of lessons in 3D, not so much more, I don't like saying 3D, this human life and this human experience. How do you be of this world but not let it consume you? Because again, with this balance, see, this is the thing, you can't be too spiritual and ignore your human body, and you can't be too spiritual and ignore your human body. You can't ignore your human experience, because you're a human. You're watching that you're a human, but you also can't be too grounded into the world, or then you get overwhelmed, then everything affects you. How do you find detachment while still being aware? God, this group, you're gonna have to do a lot of inner work. There's gonna have to be a lot of deep learning. It's called my ancestors. Some of you may also be wanting to heal generational karma, ancestral trauma. This would be the time to do it. How you choose to do it, that's something you need to talk to them about, because that's just simply not what this reading is. Let's continue. We have changes. We have home again. If there needs to be something done in your home life, whether that is rearranging furniture, getting some decorations to make you feel good, like I said, getting rid of somebody who ain't supposed to be there, getting rid of things that don't make you feel good, getting rid of practices in your home, changing habits in your home. this will be the time to implement them. And if you're not ready to implement them fully, at least taking the opportunity to acknowledge what needs to be done and then focus on it during this new moon cycle while the moon is growing, while you still have all this energy and the momentum going forward. Slow but steady. Don't think that you need to have immediate changes. So this may be what I was picking up of just not going like full into it, but just acknowledging and then slowly moving forward with it. And then honoring your energy. Again, with that Libra, don't be a people pleaser. Don't focus on making everyone happy and you or yourself at the end of the day are unhappy. It's not worth it. It's not going to benefit you in any shape or form. And that's not living life. Living life for others is not living, because then you're not living your life for yourself. And at the end of the day, when you are alone and you lay your head down at night, even if there's someone next to you, you are still going, you're still going to sleep on your own. You wake up on your own. Like you can't escape you. You're always with yourself. No matter if anyone else is with you or not, you're always with yourself. So it is up to you to honor yourself, to give to yourself, to feed yourself. I'm not speaking of food, I'm speaking your energy. To treat yourself. Treat yourself like you are divine. Maybe some of y'all need to start treating yourself like you treat others, and that may make a world of difference. Moving into a couple actions or rituals you want to include. We have massage. Yeah, especially if you don't like how your home life is, there's probably a lot of tension in your body. Y'all specifically, you massage it out yourself. Don't ask anybody else. And then we have deep breathing. If you're feeling a lot of anxiety or angst, just take some time to breathe. The day of the new moon, take some time to meditate, to relax, just focus on you. Maybe you, I just heard from some of y'all, maybe you want to lock yourself in a room to get away from somebody. That message is not going away. So clearly somebody needs to hear it, and if that is you, please do not ignore it. Wow. That got intense. But if we're going to be real, this work, this healing work, it's not all love and light. So, with that being said, if you did enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, there's probably a reason you didn't enjoy it. But thank you for watching. I don't know, this group, I'll be praying for y'all, for real. We're gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep y'all in my prayers, because I feel like y'all have really been going through it lately, and you need to utilize this new moon. You need to utilize the energy that we have in the stars right now. So, because you can't ignore it anymore. Okay, but seriously, with that being said, have a blessed new moon. I'm keeping y'all in my prayers, and just keep moving forward. Life will always get better. Bye. So y'all that chose pile 3, this is 3 for you. I believe this is a crocodile jasper. Can't really remember what it's about, like usual. This stone is so freaking rough and hard. It's raw. I feel like this group needs some good times ahead, some happiness, some smooth transitions. I just heard things have been rough around the edges lately. You're going to have to bring in this new moon, both of y'all. So the new moon will be assisting with bringing you in smoother energy, harmony. But I feel like for this group, you're gonna have to do some work. I feel like this isn't just gonna fall out of anywhere. You're gonna have to do some work as well. Let's go ahead and jump into the tarot. Oh, Dreamer of Tomes, 8 of Tomes. Finances may be rough for some of you. Three of Vials, relationships may have been rough, and 4 of Candles. The good news is, like I said, there's harmony coming through, but we got 8 of Tomes, Dreamer of Tomes. You're gonna have to be doing some work. You're gonna have to be doing some planning, some organizing, some, oh, how do I even want to describe this? Maybe some workbooks for some of you, maybe help. The energy is kind of chaotic. It's kind of disorganized. I feel like this group, the people in this group, you're gonna need organization. Maybe, Three of Vials. They're having a wonderful time, but let's acknowledge where we are, because I do that in my readings. I acknowledge where we are right now. A pandemic is happening. A lot of different things is happening that's causing a lot of divides and rifts. Right now, we don't have a lot of stability. If you're in the US and you celebrate Thanksgiving, don't know how the holidays are going to be with everything happening. Even if you're not in the US, things are still happening. So how do you get this harmony? How do you get together with people? How do you celebrate with people with everything going on? I feel like that may be taking a toll on some of y'all, because you're like, I want to do all those things, but I don't know if I can. That's the work. You're going to have to figure it out. That's the thing about this group. The new moon, Scorpio, the new moon is all about y'all finding ways to make the current environment that we live in now work for you. How long has it been? We've been dealing with this. Lockdowns didn't really start till the beginning of this year. So it's been almost a year. And it doesn't look like it's going to be going back normal anytime soon. Oops, sorry. I'm a reader who acknowledges what's happening. I don't sugarcoat anything. You guys are gonna have to acknowledge, accept what's happening. I feel like you already have, but if you haven't, there you go. You're gonna have to be making plans of, how do I make this work for me? How do I still celebrate with the people I care about? How do I still feel happiness with everything going on? If you're having financial issues, what is a trade or skill that you can use to your advantage right now to make some money? It's just like this. The new moon in Scorpio, like I said earlier, is uncovering things that you may have been ignoring. You can't ignore it anymore, especially with all of these holidays coming up. Maybe you can only celebrate with a couple people. Maybe it's not going to be a huge get together like it usually is. Maybe you're going to have to start looking at what skills can you really make a profit off of. Or maybe you need to learn some new skills that people need right now that you can provide. This group is all about like getting real with yourself. It's about acknowledging that things right now are harsh. There's no way to sugarcoat that. They have been for a while, and you know, things will always get better, yes, but our world isn't going to instantly change overnight. You're not going to wake up one day and things just went 100% back to the way they were. I don't believe. My personal opinion, and just kind of the energy I pick up, like with where we are in life right now, I don't think things will ever go back 100% to the way they were. But this is I just heard this is what they want you to know. Just because things aren't how they used to be doesn't mean that they should go back to how they used to be. And it's just not about the pandemic. If we look at, okay, God, this is about to be real. God, this group. That's why it was so rough. I guess I should have known it wasn't going to be an easy reading. If we look at this year overall with the pandemic, with not being able to rely on normal things like buses, for some, you know, some people lost their jobs, they got furloughed. We can't go out in public without having a plan, without having a mask and things of that nature. The racial injustices, they've always happened, but you know, for some reason this summer they really took off, and I'm like, this has been happening for years. I mean, decades. I mean, centuries. 2020 was supposed to happen for a reason. It's funny. 2020, looking at it numerology, E equals 4. It's 4 stability. There has been nothing stable about this year. Things are supposed to change. Sometimes things are supposed to be stable because you grow as a person. I feel like for some in this group, some of y'all, yeah, because I just saw rose tinted glasses. Some of y'all may have been looking at life with rose tinted glasses, and this year may have been a slap in the face for some of you. Oh man, you guys are literally saying that some of y'all needed all this to happen. Okay, some of y'all guys should know, like, there's certain topics that I will talk about, but certain ones, okay, whatever, sue me. Some of y'all may have had a lot of privilege. Privilege goes in a variety of ways, and it does. I feel like with this group, some of you actually did take the time to acknowledge all your privilege that you've had in life. Again, privilege in a variety of ways. And you're kind of coping with not having access to all this privilege because we've all been restricted in some way or form. And I feel like some of y'all needed that to happen so you can understand how you were privileged. And I feel like some of you realized this, and you realized, right, for some of you, you really did realize that life for you and how great it wasn't like that for everybody. And this year, even though you can experience certain things that other people have, you have a better understanding of, how do I even want to explain it? God, how am I trying to work this? Can y'all help me? You can't understand fully of how some people have experienced being disadvantaged, but you have kind of learned with how this year was kind of a slap in the face, with how we've seen things this year, about how your privilege wasn't serving anyone but yourself, and I feel like some of you have acknowledged that changes needed to happen. Certain things did need to happen because the way we were functioning as a society was just not working. It was not working. We needed change to happen. We needed to be able to see the truth. These rose-colored lenses had to be taken off. And that's why now you guys are starting to get to the point of accepting where we are and figuring out, how do I move forward now? How do I go better? How do I go about being better in every area and respecting others more, respecting what's going on, and acknowledging that things aren't going to be the same? God, that was so deep and profound with this group. I should have really got a clue with the stone. Let's keep moving forward. Just, ooh, of Sagittarius, the Explorer. Yeah, things were different for y'all. Y'all have been experiencing a lot of different things. Again, privilege is different in a variety of ways. And then for some of y'all, I heard that things actually got better for you. Things actually got better for others. You were used to, I don't want to say being disadvantaged, but let's just announce the elephant in the room. We're all different, and somehow, because of how different you may be, you experience certain things. And because you experience certain things, all of this change wasn't a huge shock, and you were actually able to use it to your advantage, because we got Gemini, the investigator. Y'all was like, oh, this is happening. You use your intellect, you use your knowledge, already having certain knowledge about not being privileged in certain areas and having to make things work. Knowing how to make things work for your advantage. Saturn discipline. Ooh, there's two dynamics to this group. Half of y'all found discipline, and the other half use the discipline they already had to their advantage. So for some of y'all, this new moon in Scorpio, it's uncovering and just accepting the others of y'all. Be bold and make the first move. Others of y'all, how can you make more of an impact than you already have? Other ones, what do you need to release? What are those old mindsets and mentalities you need to release? It's like a polar effect with this group, but I love it. Jeez. Emotional release. What are any emotion that needs to be released? Again, with that group. Forgiveness. Ooh, no, this is both sides. For others of y'all, forgive yourself because you were ignorant. I'm just going to go ahead and say that, because that's the thing. The guys with this group, they want me to keep it real. I would say harsh, but this is just the blunt, honest truth. The others need to find more forgiveness in their heart, because I feel like with some of y'all on a more dynamic boat, maybe both sides, with the Scorpio new moon, you're going to be learning some things about others in relationship with 4 candles, 3 of vials, that you may not like, and you're going to have to learn how to forgive them. I said forgive. I didn't say keep or let go. That's up to you. Healing energy, both sides again. That forgiveness, you still have to learn how to heal. Sometimes you can forgive somebody, but you haven't healed fully from it. Let's end this off. I wanted to end it off with a couple of rituals you can do during this new moon. Make an altar. Just a way to connect your spirit guides, especially if you don't have one. Please make one, because they really want to have. Some of y'all, it's going to be a harsh conversation. Others are just going to be helping you out. Clear your energy field. It's pretty self-explanatory. Maybe for some of y'all, I just heard in particular, use some like juniper. What does juniper even do? I don't know, but they said juniper. And then last but not least, we have ground yourself. I'm not even gonna explain that with God. This reading, I was not expecting to go this way or be this deep, but here we are. So if you enjoyed this reading, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm wishing y'all good luck, because that was a lot. And then just thank you for watching, because I really do appreciate it. Because you didn't have to, but if you stuck around this long, I actually really do appreciate that. So thank you so much. Have a blessed new moon.